G'day, Riley.
G'day, Kev.
How you doing?
Doing well. Just waiting for the all clear from the man upstairs. Wait for a few people to join before we get started today.
Sure.
Oh, bloody, what Goose didn't put his phone on silent before the live stream. Jeez.
We're going to need the live stream up to see the comments.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for some people to let us know they're online. I can see two from YouTube.
In the chat there.
And then, just waiting for the ones from Facebook. I can see 18 people viewing on Facebook. Can we get a sound off in the comments there, guys? There they are. All right, so I can see Tony Ewekers here, so everything's good in the world.
Oh, so you can see, I can only see the YouTube comments.
I open it on Facebook also.
That's
I've decided not to share their comments with anybody else.
fair enough.
All right, so John says we're on. I can see a few people. Amy's here. Those of you who've been following this for a few years will be pleased to know we've now bullied Amy into having a table at Sydney Knife Show. So we shouldn't use the word bullied anymore. Strongly encouraged Amy over a number of years, and we're pleased to see that's come through. All right. Great. Perfect. All right. So welcome back. If you're back, or welcome if you're not. We're doing the 2024 Knife Making Awards. Kevin and I are here to do the presentations this year. We've got 4 sessions to get through over the next 4 weeks. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Riley. I run all the markets in Australia for Nordic Edge and a bit of product development. And outside of that, I make 5 knives 5 years ago, beer and other things. That's me. And obviously I'll let Kevin Room introduce himself.
Yeah, so my name's Kevin Room. I'm the president of the Australian Knife Makers Guild. I'm also the state rep for Queensland, so I do the assessments for anyone in Queensland who's looking to join the guild. I've been making knives sort of properly for about 8 or 9 years. I joined the guild in, I think, 2016. And when I'm not making knives, to be quite honest, I'm not making knives most of the time at the moment. I'm busy with work and kids and other things, but that's what I'm doing outside of knives, just keeping up with life. But yeah, knives are what I do when I'm not doing all that other stuff. So really pleased to be hosting the awards this year with Riley and Nordic Edge, and I'll be representing the guild as the head judge this year, really pleased to partner with the beginner knife making group to help new makers improve their work and get some feedback. I think it's a really good way to show what the guild can do and what a resource it can be for newer makers. We will have guild judges judging all of the categories this year, and a big thanks to all those guild members who joined as judges last year. They take time out to give really helpful comments to the newer makers and help people improve, and as the guild, that's something we're really keen to promote. So we're really looking forward to seeing the knives coming in again this year.
All right, thank you, Kev, and again thank you to you and the guild both for supporting the event. It's invaluable. I think it's the best way to describe it, so thank you for that. So what are the awards? That's the first place to start. So we started this in 2020 when all the shows were cancelled. It's online only. It's a free competition to enter. one entry per maker across the 4 categories, not one per category. We'll go back over that 7 or 8 times. Get some feedback on your knife. The judging feedback in all of the major categories is by the guild, and the judging in best knife from kit is by the most qualified kit knife makers in Australia, including myself. So it's just a different place. The kind of advice you get in that category is very different because you're at a different place in your making. So I guess the rules are you have to be from Australia or New Zealand. You have to complete the knife in the month of May. You could have started it 15 years ago. I don't care. Complete it in the month of May, and 1 knife per person. 1. I can't stress that enough. We go back over it every year. And I guess we'll probably talk about categories now, Kev.
Yeah, for sure. So, you get into 1 knife, and there are 4 categories to choose from. So the categories this year are split in between beginner and open categories. So this is to try and even the playing field a little bit. So you need to decide first and foremost whether you are a beginner or not. So how do you tell? A beginner, we are defining as someone who has never been a member of the Knife Makers Guild, and that also applies to overseas guilds or other associations. You've never exhibited as a physical knife show. You have never won a trophy in these awards before. And you don't self-identify as an advanced maker. We're not going to check you. This is an honesty policy. So you need to make that call as to whether you think you are a beginner or whether, you've got a few knives under your belt and you perhaps might consider yourself as a more advanced maker. If that is you, then you should enter into the open category. Now, the 4 categories are best knife from a kit, the best beginner outdoor knife, best chef's knife, and best in show. And Riley will take it through the different categories now.
Yeah, certainly. So we'll start with best knife from kit or best beginner kit knife as a category. This is the real ground floor of knife making. So you have to buy a commercially available kit knife. No cheekily having a friend who is a knife maker make you a knife and then you put a handle on it. It has to be commercially available to anyone. And then obviously you put the handle on, you finish the knife. So you'll be judged here on blade selection. Is it fit for purpose in the purpose that the completed knife sort of ends up? The material selection, the consistency of the finish, and the design and dimensions as compared to the blade, because nobody likes a broomstick handle. And at the same time, facets look really great, but are they comfortable? Are they in the right place? So there's still a lot of places you can go just putting a handle on a knife. So really it's just scored about the fit and finish of the knife, right? The knife part, if you're careful with it, is finished in a kit knife. It's polished, it's sharp, everything's great. So the parts you add to that are what we're going to goal you on. But also, if you get scratches all over it while you're putting the handle on, likely that's going to affect your fit and finish also. So just kind of bear that in mind. That will probably move us into best beginner outdoor knife. Kev, do you want to take that one?
Absolutely. So the best beginner outdoor knife, as the category suggests, is a beginner category with the most requirements. And so there's certain things you have to do here. You have to have made the blade yourself. The blade has to be monosteel. That means you cannot use Damascus. You could use stainless steel if you like, but it's got to be a single steel. You have to have a metal guard if it's going to be a stick tang construction, or metal bolsters if it's going to be a full tang construction. So a metal guard of some sort is a key factor in this knife. The style can be any kind of outdoor knife. So it could be a hunting knife, could be a fishing knife, could be a puukko or a Scandi knife, it could be a wood carving knife, or a Bowie or a camp knife. There's really no kind of size limitation or really style limitation, as long as it is clearly, the purpose of the knife is clearly for the outdoors in some way. It does have to be a fixed blade, so it can't be a folding knife. And the max blade length on it, even if you are going to do a Bowie or something, is 250 mil. So, and that's from the tip to the start of the guard. So, can't be doing any giant, choppers.
Which is quite a large knife.
250 mil will get you a long way, but it just can't be a crazy sword or anything. And speaking of swords and legality, it does have to be in the New South Wales legal style. This is just to make sure that no one makes something like a double-edged dagger or has a D-guard or enters something that could be construed as a zombie killing tool, which is frowned upon by the algorithms and authorities alike. Please bear that in mind. This category, like the two open categories, is going to be judged by the Guild judges, and it'll be based on a cut-down version of the Guild's assessment criteria that we use to assess potential makers or probationary and our full members to join the Guild. So it's not the full Guild criteria, but it is along those lines. Look, we are judging this from photos, so it does have to be simplified for that reason. Pro tip would be to download the Guild assessment form from the Australian Knife Makers Guild website and give your own knife a score at some point in the process to make sure you cover the points that we're going to be judging on as best you can for a photo knife. Next category, over to you, Riley.
Absolutely. So, best chef knife. This is an open category, open to makers of any level in Australia and New Zealand. Any kitchen knife or chef style knife, monosteel, no Damascus, fixed blade, no folding chef knife, max blade length 250, and again, New South Wales legal style, as we say, which is mostly there so that everyone in the country has the same criteria for the knife that they make. Similarly scored, any knife that can be used in the kitchen or for the preparation of food fits in this category. If you want to make a boning knife, if you want to make a Santoku or a Diba or any other kind of culinary knife, that would fit nicely into this category, which is great. Similarly, judged on materials, consistency, design dimensions, and technical complexity. And in the open categories, there's a lot more consideration for technical complexity, right? Because if everybody's making at a higher level, then there's an opportunity there. If you can pull it off with a nice, clean design and great fit and finish, and it's technically complex, that might give you the leg up over other people in your weight class. But at the same time, having a 50-piece segmented handle and none of it fits up properly isn't better than a simple handle that does. So think about where you want to use that complexity. And just remember, again, it has to be a monosteel blade. So if you decide to make the knife out of Damascus, the Damascus will be ignored entirely because it's a monosteel category. So use your time and energy somewhere else in that process. I think that covers best chef knife. And I guess that takes us to best in show, which is, to be honest, like the most ludicrous category every year.
And it is a fun one. And the final category is, of course, best in show. Now, anything goes here, more or less. It still does need to be a fixed blade knife. So again, no folders for the best in show category, but it can be any style, any material, Damascus, monosteel. You can go nuts. There are some limitations though. So the blade length is a maximum of 500 mil. So unlike the outdoor knife, that would would get you quite the chopper or a small sword or something. That's pretty significant. So yeah, it's twice that of the other categories. So you can go big. It still does need to be legal anywhere in Australia, as in it's got to be single-edged and it has to be fixed blade. The prizes for this one aren't published yet, but we know from previous years that the Best in Show prize is a table paid for at any KAA or guild show in Australia. Now, the Best in Show is any experience level, any maker in Australia or New Zealand is invited to take part. And this is where the extra points from the guild judges who are going to be looking at the knives on the day often separate out the winners. So take your time here with fit and finish, and also take your time with photography. I mean, this being an online competition, it really does come down to photos. And to be honest, you can hide quite a lot in photos if you're clever with it. Not that we encourage you to do that, but if you take good photos, you're giving yourself a better chance of doing well in the awards. But having said that, and going back to what Riley was saying earlier, the more complex you make things, the more room for error. And so if you aren't able to execute those things really well, it is going to show up, and it will definitely be noticed by the judges and will count against you. So by all means, go nuts, but keep in mind, the technical complexity might,
Have you considered, Kev, a column in the guild newsletter called Room for Error, where you give advice? Because I think we might have stumbled onto something. I think that would be very funny.
I think. Look, as any maker knows, I think we all have plenty of room for error. Maybe that's a good column.
All right, so we've rocketed through today, which is spot on, and we've come through to giveaways. We love giveaways. That's why 20 of the 28 people are here, I suspect. But if I can get some sound offs on the Facebook, I just want to make sure there are people here participating, because giveaways when no one's participating are no good. So if we can get people to comment that they are still listening before I start doing these giveaways, because we're going to give away on the chat. So if no one's on the chat, Kev and I are just going to get 3 prizes and we're going to be all good. I know Kev would love some Apex Ultra to put on his pile of steel.
I would actually. I might have to enter this. Surely judges can enter, right?
Oh, surely. I mean, it's like you can see the answer in the sheet.
No conflict of interest.
Yeah, no, of course.
Yeah, it looks like there's a few people sounding off on the comments. So I think we're good to go. Geez, look at that. They're rolling through. So, that woke people up.
Well, I mean, hopefully Bjorn's not going to try and win all these prizes back. That'll be... All right, so our first giveaway is our 2024 awards t-shirt, and that will be in the form of a code for the website, so you can go and get the right size and the right color and stuff for you. Great. Rather than just sending you the small t-shirt that's always left over at the end of a knife show, we'll get you the right one. Great. So this is a doozy, and it's a question that comes from the presentation we just gave. So I hope you were paying attention, and I'm going to call the first response I see that comes through on the chat. So whether it came through at the right speed from your house, I don't care. It'll be the first one that pops through in the chat here, right? So the question is, in which category in the Knife Making Awards can you enter a Damascus knife? There's only one. Which one is it? I'm reviewing the chat now.
Jeez. Can't see a winner just yet.
It's Damien Allen with a Y.
Are we taking that as the answer?
Oh, no, we aren't. We
I
aren't.
don't know.
Good call. Good call. Kev's guild judged it. And while it is an open category.
Yeah, because there's 2 open categories.
Which would mean it's Russell Cooper.
Yep, with Best in Show.
Best in Show. Quickly followed up by, lots of people said open. Now, while you're correct, you're not technically correct. And that's our favorite kind of correct. So we'll get that off to you, Russell Cooper. And Kev's got our second giveaway. There it is.
Apologies. Sorry, there we go. So our second giveaway is a Lauren knife making kit. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly. And this consists of a blade made in Finland and a handle block of wood. And it's got a bolster, so you can make your own puukko or outdoor style knife. And the extra benefit for this, given the competition, is you can use it to enter in the best knife from a kit category if you wanted to. So there's a bit of a bonus to this one here. So the question for this, if everyone is ready, what grit sandpaper will remove material faster? 180 grit or 600 grit? Which grit is going to remove material faster? Again, we'll take the first answer we see.
The suspense is killing me.
Yeah, there we go. I think Damien has got it this time.
That time, he got it. He's quick, though.
Very quick.
Damien Allen with 2 L's and a Y.
Allen.
He's done real well.
It was close, though. Sean was pretty close on the YouTube comments as well, but I think it's got to go to Damien.
Many consonants. So, all right, Bjorn's got that written down. Tops. Now, our third giveaway of the evening is a bar of Apex Ultra, which is incredible stuff. You look at the graph on that, and you're like, oh, it's all the way over here, away from all the other steels. So,
it says wow on the graph. It must be good.
There it is. Wow. So it's fairly new. It's been hyped overseas. It's capable of 66 Rockwell after tempering. And so tough, it can be very, very thin. But a 66 to 69 Rockwell blade that flexes sounds pretty impressive to me. It's up for grabs in a bar of 5 by 50 by 500. So that's a significant piece of steel. Now, this is either a question for knife steel nerds or people who Google very quickly, because the question is, how much carbon is in Apex Ultra? What is the carbon content of Apex Ultra? Thinking about that hardness, it's probably not none.
Would have to have a fair bit.
You'd think it has more than 1095.
Oh, here we go. Ooh.
It's very close.
Russell's there, but I don't know if he's got the exact answer.
0.8 would be 1080. Dr. Lauren Thomas isn't the carbon. There we go.
There we go. Here we go.
So,
I think Steve has got it.
1.25%, which is a ludicrous amount of carbon. Without those alloying elements, it would be like glass. So I'm really glad they've worked that one out. Some, very true. Very true. In that, some is more than none. That's definitely quite true. So,
and Steve takes us through with what I assume is the Google description there as well. He's done well to paste that in the chat too.
Very high purity from the double processing, high vanadium at 2.6. It sounds great. Sounds proper great. I have to give that a crack.
It is fantastic steel. I have used a bit of it myself. It is very impressive.
On those knives you don't make, Kev?
Yeah, well, this one hasn't been finished, but it is very nice.
I've got a guess at 67 to 69 Rockwell. It hand sands awful.
I haven't got to that part yet.
I know Jess from Oblivion Blades was making some Apex Ultra Core sand mine.
So that's my plan.
Yeah, get all the benefits and none of the hand sanding.
That's definitely my plan.
But yes, excellent. So that's our giveaways for this week. But as you know, tune in every Wednesday for potentially more giveaways. But we've come to the part of the evening where I thank our sponsors, because without sponsors, there are no prizes, or by no prizes, I mean one prize. So our sponsors this year are 84 Engineering, Rodhor Knife Images, On the Mark Engraving, Heimdall and Freya Traditional Leathercraft, and 3M Oztech, who supply all of our abrasives at Nordic Edge.
And we've got a great bunch of sponsors and partners this year. These are companies that help support what we all do. If you are a hobby maker or a full-time maker, or you're involved in any way in the knife making community in Australia. We do encourage you to support these people back by checking out their sites and seeing what they do. They make competitions like this possible, and sort of help the whole community with the products and services that they offer. So we encourage you to check them out. We also have prizes this year from we were just mentioning Jez from Oblivion Blades, who makes custom steel billets for knife makers, wanting that special bling. You can probably guess what some prizes might be there. Northern Iron Forge, who makes handmade hammers, knives, and other tools in Queensland, makes some great stuff up there. Tharwa Valley Forge, which we're all familiar with, a truly amazing place for makers wanting to improve their skills. It's one of the biggest knife making schools in the not just Australia, but probably the Southern Hemisphere, and if not, maybe even the world. I was talking to Kareem about this at Knife Camp in December. It's up there in terms of size. Fantastic place, and a lot of us started our journeys there. And of course, the last sponsor is Nordic Edge, who obviously organised the event, and we've got Bjorn in the background doing all the subtitles and things. And of course, they provide the giveaway prizes and the trophies. So big thank you to all those guys, and some cool prizes to look forward to there for those involved in the competition.
That's what we like. So, firstly, I just want to take another moment to thank the Guild. They're some of the best makers in the country. They're giving up their personal time to judge these awards because we want to give people feedback. We want to grow the community. It's in the Guild's mandate. It's something we're all interested in. The feedback alone is worth the task of submitting the knife, whether you win a prize or not. And that wouldn't be true without them. If it was just Bjorn and I giving you advice about what we thought you could do better, it wouldn't have quite the same appeal. So we're very grateful to them for that, and we're very grateful to them supporting us through all of these awards since 2020. So just wanted to say thank you again to the Guild for that.
Thanks for having us. Pleasure.
It's a no-brainer for me. And then talk very briefly about the timeline. So the timeline will go, we run it in May every year. The knife must be completed before the 26th of May. Entries open on the 15th of May and close on the 26th at 4 p.m. There are 3 more live streams to take part in. The live stream on the 15th of May on how to enter, what photos to take, and how, with a special guest. Wednesday, the 22nd of May, scoring and judging, how to set up your knife to score well. You have opportunity in that last kind of few days to really fine tune things, and we'll get some good advice there. And then Wednesday, the 29th of May, which obviously is just after the close of the awards, we'll do the winner announcements live on the live stream. And that's the timeline over the next month. They'll all be at 8 p.m. on the Facebook group and on YouTube.
And because there are 3 winners in each category, that means there's going to be 12 winners announced. So plenty of opportunities to, get in the running for a prize there. And each winner is going to get a trophy as well as the prize. Every maker taking part, and this is probably one of the most valuable things for everyone entering, particularly in the beginner categories. Every maker taking part is going to get their scores back from the judges. So that will include helpful tips and other feedback from the judges on how to improve your knife making. So that can often be the most valuable thing you get out of it, aside from, of course, the awesome prizes.
Amazing. And an important opportunity to join what we call the third place club of makers who came third, who apparently get together at knife shows and talk about having come third. You could be part of that for eternity. So a big thank you to everyone who tuned in to watch today. And, we're officially open now. Like, the awards have officially begun for 2024. Get working on your knife. We'll be back in 2 weeks to tell you how to take photos of it with our special guests. Maybe they're a sponsor. Maybe they're a knife photographer. Maybe you could figure out who that is. Maybe it will be a prize question on a further giveaway. Who knows? A lot of time and effort goes into making this happen. So we're really glad that you guys came to watch and to take part. And if you have any questions, we've got a couple of minutes just to clarify anything that might have come in late, you might have missed just in the first part of the call. So we've got probably 2 or 3 minutes if anybody wants to jump on the chat with comments. Otherwise, we're out for today and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
I think we've got a bit of a delay on our end for the comments as well, so we'll give it a second to see if anything comes through.
There's certainly some big names in the comments. I'm hoping they're going to make a knife also, not just turn up and troll the comments.
Does barrel knife count as a folding knife? Probably not.
Well, you could just make a fixed one that looked like it's a barrel knife, but it doesn't come apart. All right. Don't look like there's any questions. Just a lot of people saying thank you. That's tops.
Oh, hang on. We got one from Damien Aileen.
Forged and stock removal both accepted. Absolutely. Probably not just forged. You might want to also do a bit of stock removal just to get, the knife finished. But yeah, no, absolutely. We're not elitists about how the knife comes together.
Hey, if you can do a really, really clean brute to forge and just grind an edge there,
you finish the knife and sharpen it on the anvil, you're probably getting a prize. But make sure you tell us that you didn't grind it at all and you did the whole thing on the anvil, because otherwise we'll just assume you ground it because it looks so nice.
There's a tough one there for you, Riley.
When will you finally make another knife, Riley? All right, so luckily for you, I'm trying to do my Guild Proby. So I have 3 knives half finished. They're the first knives I've made since 2017. So they're not very good, but we're on our way. Luckily, I'm in Sydney quite a lot now, and Nordic Edge has the opportunity to drop in sometimes for open forging and open grinding sessions. And so I've been going to those tops while I finish my grinding room. Keep me honest, guys. Will I finish my grinding room? Maybe.
Nice. Well, I think that's the end of all the questions.
The major domo of the third place club has arrived in the chat. Just want to recognize Darren for his contributions to the industry and his leadership of the third place brigade. Thank you for your service. All right. I think before anybody else takes a shot at my knife making, we might go. Lovely to see you guys. 15th of May, we'll be back live. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you then.
Thanks, everyone. See you later.